My colleague Mike Walter sat down with Ambassador David O'Sullivan to discuss this issue further. He's the EU ambassador to the United States. Mike asked him what results the world can expect to see from additional EU funding.
We do spend quite a lot on development assistance money. We're one of the largest donors of development assistance, including to North Africa. But we do need to look again at whether we shouldn't refocus some of that money in addressing issues related to migration, helping transit countries cope more effectively with refugees or immigrants who are coming through their territory, looking at the underlying economic and social differences in the countries of origin and help them develop their countries in a way that people feel they have a future in their own country and don't necessarily have to migrate in order to build a better future for them and their families.
This particular issue, how much of a strain does it put on the EU budgets?
Well, we already have a very substantial budget of development assistance, and I think we can look at ways whether we can spend that differently or more effectively to address this issue. So I don't think in the short term that this is really a budgetary issue, and we always find ways of making money available for humanitarian situations. We're the largest donor, for example, to the humanitarian situation in Syria, which is the greatest humanitarian disaster we've seen in recent times, with huge consequences for the neighboring countries, and we're one of the big donors for helping those countries address that problem. As
you look at the Middle East and Africa in terms of fixing economies, fixing security issues, obviously the EU's instrumental in contributing to that, but how much should the world be stepping up to the plate, do you think, to address these issues?
Well, I think that's absolutely right. We fully accept a European responsibility, but one of the reasons we've gone to the United Nations to discuss this issue is this is a global phenomenon, and we hope that other countries will join us in helping address these problems, whether it's the question of the political instability in Libya. We need an international effort to put a functioning government in place. We need the cooperation of the international community to try to broker a ceasefire and a political solution in Syria. And of course, we would love other members of the international community to join us in putting money into the sub-Saharan countries to help improve their economic and social progress and to stem the flow of migrants.